Hello, 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 my darlings. Thank you for joining me on A Slice of Life, A Slice of Life. You know what I heard today? No, it wasn't today. It was yesterday. And so my age group that watch me are 45, 55, 65, and 75. A lot of 65s. And so, but I need to bring this up because it's been a conversation, and I don't know why. So I follow the presence of the Lord, because somebody may be thinking like this. But there's a woman who said to me, and she said, I love you dearly, but I am not going to go back and get another degree until I get a husband and have some babies. And I said, okay. She said, I want children and I want a husband. And so I'm going to go and forego the degree right now and concentrate on getting married and having a family. And that's what I want to do. And I liked her saying that. I remember, see, there's a storyline on Beyond the Gates. Listen, don't judge. I said I was not looking at any stories at age 83. I didn't look at the stories when they were the stories. So I don't know why I've gotten into Beyond the Gates. I guess because I want to be on there so badly. I keep listening for a part. Wait a minute, put a pin in that. So let me go back. The storyline is that one of the people, the policeman's wife, who is the daughter to the Beyond the Gates, rich and famous, does not want to have a baby. She thought she was pregnant, and she was just distraught because she was happy with him. She just wanted to be happy with him and have a great marriage with him. And then come to find out she wasn't pregnant. She was so happy, and now they're going to have a breakup because he wanted to be a father. And so I think that kind of discussion should happen before you say I do. She said she told him in the storyline, supposedly, that she didn't want any children, and he was okay with it until he heard that he was going to be a father, and then something else happened to him. Wait a minute, my this is doing something. There's always something going on here. Hold on a second. I don't like it when it's going on. Anyway, so that's the Beyond the Gate story, and so she just didn't want any kids. And then this particular person said, I'm not doing anything until I get some kids. I remember a classmate of mine from high school made that same determination. She said, I don't want to lose my shape. She said, your child is good enough for me. I'll let that be my godchild, and I'm happy with it. And those kind of discussions you have to have before you get married or before you get in a relationship, or you have to have an honest discussion with yourself. And then I have some people who are saying, I'm 45, I haven't had a kid, I'm not married, what's wrong with me? And don't do that. They see it's some kind of fictional fantasy world somewhere between when you're born. What happens with little girls? We immediately give you a doll, and we immediately give you a pocketbook, and we immediately give you a cooking set. That's just, why do we do that? I don't know. We just do it. Little boys, we immediately give them a car, some cars. We immediately give them that doll that looks like a little man, something, and we immediately give them a mechanic something, because we got these gender places that we have in concrete. That's the only way to be. And so girls immediately get that maternal something, and little boys get that protect, and what is it that men do when they get married? Protect and provide. And it's not that way. That's a fairy tale. It's not that way. That's not life. And so I appreciated the young woman who said, I want children and I want a husband. But she has a possibility of a husband. So knowing her, she's going to have a husband, and then that baby's coming. Whatever happens after that, that's one thing. But I want you to be okay with whatever your decisions are and were, and still be okay with yourself. I need you to like yourself well enough to not beat up on yourself because you don't have any children and you're not married. If that was your goal, that and you missed it, you don't know that you missed it. I had a friend, may God rest her soul. She wore her white dress, her white beautiful dress, down the aisle of her childhood church with her new husband, had never been married. And she had a ceremony. She was so happy at late 60s. I've seen people do it at whatever age that it's supposed to happen, it will happen. But if it has not happened, is that a reason for you to beat up on yourself? Is it really? You see, and all that glitters is not gold. You see the people getting out of the car with their kids and how happily they look and how happy this and happy that. No, it's a lot going on. To raise a child takes it's something. It really does take a village, but we don't do a village like where that came from. That's an African proverb. But it does take a village to raise a child. And I don't know why this came to me today, but other than the fact that I know if I say something or I'm supposed to sit here and repeat something, that somebody on the other side of the screen is either one lamenting because they haven't had a baby, or you're lamenting because you don't have a husband yet, or you are lamenting over something that is fictional instead of celebrating the fact that you're here. And let me put a pin in that. I spoke with another girlfriend today, my AKA Divine Nine sister. Where's that Delta? Anyway, and she said that I'm the oldest one in all my groups. I'm the oldest one now because we're the same age. And she says, how did I get to be the oldest one? But what I like, you know what she said after that? She said, but I am so blessed. Oh my God. And that gave me a lift because I think about being 83. And today I went out by myself. Yes, I did. Took care of a lot of business today. Had a wonderful meeting with a youngin'. She's 45, 47, 49, something like that. Anyway, I enjoyed meeting with her today as we talked about who lived here, where did they go. And I was just thinking about, sometimes it's depressing when you stop and think about all the aches and pains associated with 83 and the life you still want to live. And you know what? We had an event at Clark Atlanta today for the faculty, and the provost invited the faculty to the library for to say hello, to meet and greet, and have warm feelings, so they can have to warm up the relationship between the provost and the faculty and the provost. They could see each other than somewhere in an office or in a conference. I think that was a wonderful idea. And I was right there. My meeting was around the corner. I didn't remember. I went somewhere else. And once I got back in the car, I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted. And then I got a message that the thing was going on. And this was my position. One, I had gotten back in the car 2 or 3 times by this time. And I said, you know what? I can't get out the car anymore and go somewhere and walk. That I couldn't do it. But 2, my position was, I know I don't know her like that, but she's seen me on a panel. And I was thinking, what? There's nowhere for me to go at Clark Atlanta University. There's no upward mobility. All that's over with now. All that needing to meet and greet. I just said, you know what? They're not going to miss me, number one. And I don't have anything to really offer in terms of where can we put her next so we can shine at the school. There's nowhere for me to go. There's nothing for me to do but to do what I do, and that's to teach our students and love them like I do, and teach with love the entire body, the mind, the body, and the soul of a student, and move them along the journey of life. that's about it for me. And so as much as I would have loved to have been there, I would have loved to seen Gary White and Celeste White, Doctors White, and Dr. Beverly Westbrook, and Dr. Tammy Simmons, and Dr. Chris Bass. I would love to just given all of them a big old hug. I haven't seen them in person. I have seen Dr. Tammy Simmons though, but haven't seen the rest of them in person. Well, I can just give them a hug, because they're just full-time faculty members, and they have put their time in and they work tirelessly. Dr. Kimbrough, I did talk to Dr. Daniel Black on the phone today, but sometimes you got to know when to fold, and I'm there, and so I've gone around Adam's House Cat to talk about women who want to have babies. If you want to have that baby, have that baby. I remember frowning up. Well, I'm not going to say that. I remember looking side-eyed when a young lady said, we were young. She said, I want me a baby. She said, I'm going to have me one. And she did. And I looked at her side-eyed. But now that I'm 83, I can see she that's what she wanted. And so she got her baby, and she was happy with it. She was happy. And I don't think of a side-eyed anymore. That child, whomever that child is, was scheduled to come into the world. The angels had to find him a home, found him a home, him or her. I don't know. I never knew what she had. I don't remember. And anyway, so she had her baby. Now, so kudos to those of you who make up your mind. The storyline that's going on, it may change on Beyond the Gates, but I can see if that's what you want. Like I said, I have a classmate who said she did not want to lose her figure. And I looked at her side-eyed. But then again, she had a good life, enjoyed herself. She and her husband had a great time together. And and sometimes you get to a point like now. So what do you do now, those of you, or those of us who are 65 and older? You meet somebody that, I don't know, Sarah had a baby though at 85, 80 something, but I don't know, but 65, enjoy the person you with. Enjoy your life. I'm wanting to get you to I know here we go. It's enough going on in the world. It is enough. Somewhere in the enough going on in the world, I need you to not have a heart attack, not have high blood pressure, not have sleepless nights, but have goals for yourself, and set some goals and standards for yourself, and get on that journey, and make things happen. And keep it in mind, God has a plan, and don't get mad if that doesn't happen, and keep going. How many things have I asked for? I'm like Joshua Giles. Joshua Giles the other night said he used to ask God for things and said, well, what? And I thought about myself, I'm like, why you didn't do this for me? And then I was like, sometimes no is a good thing. How many of you all have gotten a no and just not happy about it? And life goes on, and you look back and say, ooh, that was a good no. So, sometimes no is a yes, and sometimes no is okay, and in any case, no is all you got. And so you have to take it. And so I got this going on tonight. I don't have a whole lot more about it. I just love what the person said to me. It shocked me. And then I looked at Beyond the Gates, and I thought about my friend who's passed on now. And I thought about how she said, oh, Avalon is enough for me. I thought about another couple people that said, I'm just going to have me a baby. And they went on and had them a baby, and they're happy with it. And so what is it that you want to do? What is it that God has talked to you about doing too? And how has he told you to handle it? That's the key right there. What has he told you to do? Then what are you doing about your own happiness? What are you doing? Are you doing something about it, or are you complaining? And or are you pointing fingers at other people? You make yourself happy. I don't know what she's doing. You need to quit doing that. I want you instead to think about what do we need to do? What can Georgiana do? What can I talk about? You know, my girlfriend, the same girlfriend I was talking to about today, talked about purging. That's a whole nother thing. I can't really talk about that. You see all this back here? If you think this is a mess, okay, I'm not going there. Anyway, I love you. You know I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I want you to understand joy about joy. The Lord gives you joy. You give yourself happiness. You do that. You make up your mind. You make your goals and aspirations. That's you. You talk to the God about it. We all got a purpose. You know, I met a young lady where I went to a meeting today. I said, you know what? I watched how God put that young lady in my life and me in her life in such a way that who would have thought? There's no way we would have met. No way. 49 to 83, no way. There's no connection. There was absolutely nothing in both of our lives until this one thing, this one subject. Who lived here? Where did they go? We both had on the same path. I was over here and she was over here, and we were chunking along, chunking along. And one little something said, come here to this event. And I came to that event, and I said, and everything was going on to make sure that I would never talk to her. Remember that day I told you I went somewhere and it was just like, they got on my nerves. And finally settled down to this one young lady where we both are doing the exact same thing, studying the exact same people who have done the work, and now we are going to do it together, hopefully. Oh my God. When God has a plan, you can't do anything about that. And it's the same way with you out there. The plans are there. He planned it for you. Mama got pregnant. He did. And you're now in the plan. And sometimes you're fighting against what's whispering in your ear. What's whispering in your ear? What is whispering in your ear? What has God whispered in your ear that you have determined you don't want to hear? And because of that, you're unhappy, tension, trials, and tribulations until you stop it and say, I give. Lord, what would you have me to do? I love you. There's nothing you can do about